So how are you? How are you
Okay,
today?
let's try this. Sorry about that.
And how do you feel about coming back to Europe after the pandemic?
Yeah, we're super excited to get back finally. It's been so long. The last time we were in Europe, I don't even remember when we did a full European tour. I think it's probably 2018 or 19. We were in the UK. This is actually the last tour that we've done was a UK tour with Bowling for Soup in February 2020, which is basically the last show we've done, before the whole world kind of changed and the pandemic hit. So it's really great to finally be able to come back to play for our fans, to let them, hear the new songs, a new record, and just to get back on stage. We love playing Europe. We have so much fun there. We have so many amazing tours. It's really exciting to get back and to do it with our friends, Sum 41, playing such big shows. It's exciting. I can't wait. It's gonna, it starts next week, and I'm really pumped.
Yeah, my next question is about Sum 41 because you're currently touring with them. And how was the American part of it? How was it? Did you have a lot of fun?
Yeah, it was honestly, it was insane, and it was the best way to come back into touring, because I know there's so many tours out there, and some of them are, there's so many shows people have to pick, and sometimes the bands are playing to like half empty rooms. And so for us, we had an entire tour that was sold out. Like literally every single show was packed, and the energy was incredible. You could really feel that people were excited to get back to watching live music. You could really feel that the energy and the excitement, the kind of happiness of just people being in the room, listening to live music, seeing a band on stage. And for us, we could feel it, we enjoyed it. And it was really, I think it made us realize just how grateful we are for doing what we do in life, and for being in this band, and for having all these fans that love and care about our music and our songs. There was no better way we could have done it. I think it was an amazing night. Every fan that came out stayed until the end. Like when we played first, everybody stayed for Sum 41. When Sum 41 closed the show, everybody stayed. I think that it was the perfect combination, and it was a really special tour. We really, really enjoyed it. We had so many magical nights. Like in New York City was awesome. The shows in California were incredible. Chicago. I mean, honestly, like almost every single show was insane. It was really great. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to go in Europe, and I think it's going to be just as fun, just as good.
How do you feel about the fact that you are in the industry for over 20 years now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question. We've been around for 20 years. Yes.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Oh, it's weird. It's weird to think it's been that long. It doesn't, I mean, in some ways it feels like we've lived 40 years and 20 years. We could play in over like 50 countries, I think now. And we've seen so much of the world, and we've met so many people, and we've done so many awesome things that we could only dreamed about when we were kids. So in some ways it was a long journey, but in some other ways it feels like it was just yesterday that we started. I remember everything from the first album, and I remember I feel we have, although we've changed and we've grown as people, and we're obviously different, I feel so much of us is still the same. We still have the same love for music. We still are so excited to go back on the road and to play new places. Like on this tour, we're playing Slovakia for the first time. So that's exciting. It's a new country we can add to the list, and we've never been there before. So that still gets me like pumped up and like excited, and but I think it feels weird because we're so used to being the youngest band on the bill, and to be like the band that's just like starting. And now things have changed, and we're often like the veterans. We're the band that's been around, and we have all these young up and coming bands that are coming up to us saying how much they love the band and how we were a big inspiration. And so our role has kind of shifted, our position in the music world. But I think that when you see the show, you don't really feel that. Like, I think we still have the same energy and still the same, like, I don't know. I think it's still the same enthusiasm that we've had when we first stepped on stage, like back 20 years ago. So I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's also, I'm very proud of the fact that we're still around, that we were able to stay relevant, and that fans still care about our band 20 years down the road. I think there's no greater compliment than a band that can stick around and have some longevity. I think it's the best thing you can have as a musical act.
Yeah, and speaking of the time flying by, how did the music industry change over the years, and how did your perspective on music change?
Well, I think it hasn't changed that much. I think that we've went through so many changes in the industry. Like, we started out and there were CDs and cassettes, and then it went to iTunes, and then now it's all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So a lot has changed, right, in terms of the infrastructure and how things operate. But as far as how we feel about music, that has not changed one bit. We still think that it's all about the song. It's everything starts with good songs and good music, and being honest when you write, being open, writing what you know and what you love. Because if you try to do something that's not you, it's not going to work, you know. And I think we've always believed that, and we still live by that. That's our like guiding light, is make music that you love, make music that's honest and true to your, like, to your reality, to your life. And when you do that, it's usually it's going to connect with people. And when it connects to people, people become fans, and they want to see you live, and they want to follow you, and they want to hear every song that you put out. So it's really all about that connection. That's what's beautiful about music, is when you're able to create something that resonates with other people. That's how you have a long career. So I think we've never changed. We've always believed that. It was always about it. Everything starts with the songs and the albums and the music, and obviously playing great shows, going out and every night making, because every night there's new people that have never seen you before, and it's your chance to make your first impression. So whatever shows, they're always the most important, because there's always people in that room that it's their first time seeing you, and they've been waiting for 5, 10, 15, 20 years for that moment. So I think that we always remember that. We always remember how that's so important, and that's why we want to put on the best show that we can, you know?
Yeah. And before the release of your latest album, Harder Than It Looks, you've stated that you are returning to the roots, and the album sure does embrace the fundamentals of Simple Plan. And why did you feel it was so important?
Well, I think when you're in a band throughout your career, there's moments where you feel you have to evolve, you have to change, and you have to do certain things that, because if you don't, people will say, oh, they're not evolving, they're not doing anything. And I think we've done that. We've tried to expand our sound, and we've had a lot of fun doing that. But there comes a time when you also realize, I think with maturity and with that, what people will, first of all, what you love about what you do, and what we love about being in Simple Plan, and what our fans love about this band. And what they love is the energy. What they love is the honesty and in our lyrics, and you know, they love when we write songs that are like emotional and real, and they love it when it's fun. So we have two sides to this band. We have this like fun side that's like up tempo, high energy, like in your face, and then there's this other side that's more vulnerable, that's more like emotional and real and raw. And I think that that's really what the Quantico Simple Plan sort of realized, that this is what we love to do. Mm-hmm. And it's okay for us to keep doing that, because this is our trademark. This is what we love about ourselves and what people love about us, about our band. So we've come to terms with like, you know what, this is who we are. And, some people might think it's whatever, not great or whatever, but we know there's so many people that love it and we love it. So we're just embracing it more than ever. We're embracing who we are. We want to make the most quintessential Simple Plan songs that we can. We want to create stuff that is us, exactly who we are. And I think this last record, we worked so hard and to make sure that it was exactly that. And I feel it really represents all the best sides or the best like eras that we've had as a band. They're all somehow in that record, like there's the energy and the fun of the first record. There's the big anthems from the second record. There's the emotional, like very vulnerable songs from the third album. There's the fun and quirky and super melodic and catchy stuff from the fourth record. Like everything is all in that record, in that album. And I think it's the most Simple Plan record we ever made.
And which songs from the album were your favorite to record and why?
Sorry, could you just repeat the beginning? It was cutting out. I apologize.
Which songs from the album were your favorites to record?
Wow, good question. They were all really, really fun. We've only picked I think there's only 10 songs on the record, so we were very selective about which song we're gonna go. But I love like Million Pictures of You is one of my favorite. It has that kind of like 80s kind of I don't know. There's a little bit of like that throwback like influence in it that I love, and it's really like just a great pop punk love song. And it's I love how the inspiration came for that song. Like it was really about me taking a bunch of pictures of my son, which is weird because the song turned out to be a love song. But the first idea was like I was taking, because when I don't know if you have a kid or not, but when you have a kid, you take so many pictures. It's ridiculous. And it was like that's how the idea came. I was like, oh, that's a really, really cool song title. And then we turned it into a completely different, but I love where the vision came from. I also love Slow Motion. It was inspired by a band that we love called Bleachers, which I'm a huge fan of. And it sounds like the song at the end of the movie, like when the credits roll down, it feels like that kind of massive, big song, big chorus that you hear at the end. And we always wanted to write these kind of songs that feel like they could be perfect on a movie soundtrack, So I don't know, I just really like that one. And I would say the last one that I'm really excited about is a song called Iconic. It was super fun to record. We actually had to do it like 3 or 4 times. We couldn't figure out the right arrangement, the way to approach it. But in the end, I'm so happy we did it because the final result, after working so hard on the arrangements and all that, I feel it's the most anthemic song that we ever had as a band. I think it's the one that it's like an inspiration. It's very empowering. Like it's all about, like you hear that song and it makes you realize that you can do anything and you don't have to listen to people, telling you that you can't do it. You have no chance. It's unrealistic. Like, you know what? No, man, I'm going for it. I'm following my heart. I'm following my dreams. So I think the message in that song is powerful and I'm really proud of it. And I hope it inspires people.
And there is a lot of pain, but also a lot of hope in your lyrics and in your music. And I think that having hope is really important for every single one of us now through all that happened in the world in the past few years. And do you maybe have any message that you want to share with your fans that struggle through some tough times?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what that's also something that we realize as a band is that we talk a lot about kind of difficult emotions or difficult moments in somebody's life. But there's always a twist to it. There's always like, okay, it's tough right now, but if you hold on, if you keep going, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like you're going to be okay. You're going to figure out something. We're going to figure out together because we're also going through some tough moments. And we believe that these moments make you stronger. These moments make you the person that you want to become. They make you more resilient. They make you more courageous. They make you a better person. I think when you go through these tough things, if you don't give up, if you hold on, if you keep going, if you keep believing that things are going to be fine, they actually turn out to be even better than you think. So I think this is kind of what the essence of lots of our songs are about. And we really believe that as people. And I think that's why you hear it in our music, is because, you know, it's not all just negative. There's always this sort of this belief that you're going to figure it out and just keep going, you know? So I think that's what I want to tell people, just that, and that's what I tell people when we speak to them in person at shows, or when we speak to them, you know, online, like through social media or whatever, is that there's always a way out. There's always a way for things to get better, and you just have to not give up. So yeah, I think that's the essence of the message.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see you in Poland. And my last question is about the show. What do you expect from the show in Poland, and what we can expect as the audience in Poland?
Oh, I'm excited. We've played a few times in Poland before. Like, we've had some great shows there. I remember the first time we ever played, we played at this really like old school punk rock club. And I remember I was so surprised and happy to see how many fans were there that knew the band and knew all the lyrics and were really like hardcore fans. It's really special for us to go to a country so far away from where we were born in Montreal and in Eastern Europe and Poland, and to see so many people, you know, being there, and just knowing that our music has traveled that far, and knowing that people, that our music and our songs have meant a lot to people, are truly not used to it. We truly appreciate still. So what to expect for the show? I mean, I think it's going to be the kind of show where we're just going to go all out like every single night. It's interesting playing with Sum 41 because we're friends and we love them, but I think that they make us better in a way, because they make us want to play even harder, because they're an amazing band live. So, and I think in some ways, I think we do the same thing with them. We make them want to like put on a better show, because everybody wants to not be the best. It's not like a competition, but we all want the crowd to go a bit crazier when we're on, and we want like to have the great reaction, and we want to. So I think that in some ways this tour has really made each band better and more motivated and more excited than ever. So that's been super fun. So I think we're just gonna go, and like we get to play every time we're somewhere like that where we don't get to play as often. We really want to give the best show that we can. We want to be as jump around like crazy and have all the energy, and make sure that everybody leaves the room with a big smile on their face, and they say, man, this was like one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. So that's the goal. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve that in Poland. I hope that you will enjoy it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see you live. So thank you a lot for the talk.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
We'll see you in a few weeks.